Okay, so this is the continuation from where we ended. Remember, I introduced the topic mutation, where I gave the definition of mutation. Then the other thing is we also looked at the effects of mutation. We looked at the causes of mutation. So today now we are looking at types of mutation. So the first one is gene mutation. Okay. So what is gene mutation? Gene mutation is a mutation that involves a change in a gene structure. Okay, a change in gene structure. In gene mutation, an allele of a gene changes, therefore causing the formation of a different characteristics. Okay, so during that change, the allele of a gene changes, and that causing the formation of a different what characteristics. So we are going to have a different characteristics because the gene has changed. Then gene mutation affects a single cell or a group of cells, but not all cells of the body. Get me right on that one? Gene mutation just affect either the single cell or groups of cells, not all the cells of the body. Okay, that is gene mutation. Sickle cell anemia. Let us look at sickle cell anemia under gene mutation. Sickle cell anemia is one of the type of gene mutation. So it is actually the example of gene mutation, sickle cell anemia. Okay, so in sickle cell anemia, the mutation affects the formation of hemoglobin, a molecule in red blood cells responsible for carrying oxygen. So the duty of hemoglobin in the red blood cells is actually to carry oxygen from one part of the body to another. So that is the one which is being affected with the sickle cell anemia. Okay. It causes one amino acid in the hemoglobin chain to be replaced by another amino acid. That is the cause. This change in amino acid sequence causes hemoglobin to change its what? Shape. The replacement of amino acid causes now the hemoglobin to do what? To change its shape. Now, what will happen when the hemoglobin changes its shape? Because that is the one which is responsible for transporting oxygen from one region to another within the body. Now it has changed its what? Shape because of sickle cell anemia. So under low oxygen concentration, red blood cells become sickle shaped. Okay, because as we have said from the first point there, the hemoglobin, its responsibility is to transport oxygen from one place to another. What does that mean? It ensures that oxygen becomes more, okay, from one region to another, or balance the oxygen concentration around the body. Okay, now when it is disturbed because of the sickle cell or because of gene mutation, once it is affected, it will actually change its shape. And once the shape is changed, meaning it is not going to operate at the normal rate. Hence, there will be shortage of oxygen to some parts of the body. That's where we are saying under low oxygen concentration, the red blood cells become sickle shaped. That's the cells now itself. It becomes sickle shaped. Okay? Sickle shaped red blood cells are not flexible as normal red blood cells. Instead, they clamp together. Why? Because they have changed its shape now. So they will clamp together and can stick to blood vessels. They stick to blood vessels. This prevents blood flow now. Blood is not going to flow from one region to another. Okay. Instead, blood would like now to do what? To concentrate on a certain point. Blood will now stop moving around the body. And as a result, the person suffers from this type of disease, is going to lack blood. Okay. This prevents blood flow to vital organs, causing organ damage and pain. So imagine if the blood is not going to heart, what will happen? The heart will be affected. Okay. The kidneys will be affected. And that will cause its damage because the blood is not reaching there. One, there will be pain of that particular organ. And in the end, that organ will be damaged. Okay. So sickle cell anemia is a hereditary recessive disorder. Offspring may acquire it if both parents have sickle cell anemia or they are carriers. So we have heard there, they have specified to say sickle cell anemia. This is a type of disease which is actually inherited from parents to their offspring, more especially if both parents they are suffering from this, or if both parents are carriers. That means the offsprings are likely to suffer from the sickle cell anemia. Okay, so we are still moving. In the next class, we are going to look at the other type of mutation. We have just talked about gene mutation, but there is another one, chromosome mutation, that will be talked about in the next lesson. So stay tuned for more lessons under mutation. Thank you so very much for listening. At this point of time, we are going to end there, but exercise will follow later on. Thank you so much.